We may have learned more about who Auburn's next running back could be over the weekend.
You are Locked On Auburn, your daily podcast on the Auburn Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into Locked On Auburn, your daily Auburn Tigers podcast. I'm your host, Zac Blackerby, and thank you so much for making us your first listen every single day. It's a Charlie Wednesday. Auburn message board legend, Charlie 5. You can find him over at thebarnauburn.com. He also hosts the Top Button podcast, another daily Auburn Tigers podcast. Jae Lamar, Derrek Cooper, two very talented running backs, took official visits to Auburn over the weekend, and it sounds like things went well. But once again, these recruits never talk to media at the end of the week and say, "Man, this visit stunk." So, what do we take away from what exactly happened? Derrek Cooper, who a lot of people think could be the best running back in this class. He said all the right things. He said Auburn's among his top schools, but we knew that because he took an official visit here. Is it just that? Is Auburn a top 5-ish school for Cooper? And that could be it. I mean, it seems like all signs are pointing towards Miami. Georgia really wants him. In your mind, Kyle, where is Auburn in all of this?
Well, look, you do have a connection there. You got the Chaminade Madonna connection. You have Denarius Gray. You've had Sean Shivers. There is mutual interest there. There's interest on his side. But look, Miami is playing big boy recruiting right now. They're going after these guys, especially state of Florida guys, and they're spending a ton of money to get these guys. I think the interest is there, but I think Auburn is probably just one of the top schools. I mean, he had a great time, but this one seems like it would be a massive upset if Auburn were to somehow land him. And he's good, man. He's elite. That everybody wants him. I just don't know. I don't know that Auburn's got much of a shot in this one, but nothing's impossible.
Yeah. The portal, Brian Smith with the portal put out his top 12 running backs for 2026. He's got Derrek Cooper at 1, but he also has Jae Lamar at 8.
Yeah.
And I think I feel better about Jae Lamar now than I did a week ago. Do I think Auburn's in the driver's seat for him? No, but I do think it's much more of a realistic shot now than I did a week ago after this visit.
I completely agree. This recruitment to me reminds me a lot of the Usman Chroma recruitment, where Georgia could probably get him if they wanted him right now. They could end it. I think, and I think it was very similar with Usman Chroma, and Auburn was always very consistent. And I think he saw a lot this past weekend that maybe kind of opened his eyes a little bit more. But again, you always worry about Georgia if they ever really push for Jay. To me, again, I've said this a bunch of times, but he just has that prototype Georgia tough type running back that fits what they want to do. You almost have to root for Georgia to get Derrek Cooper, because they're in it. They're probably, in the top 2 or 3. And if they get him, to me, that really opens the door for Jae Lamar. Jae Lamar is probably the best shot at Auburn getting one of the top backs in the class. And I know he was at 8th on that list. I don't think he's anywhere close to that on Auburn's list. I think it's like 1A, 1B with Derrek Cooper or Jay. They love Jae Lamar, and he's a beast, man. He's unlike anything. I mean, he's the closest thing to maybe like a Jarquez Hunter with maybe a little bit more. He's a little bit bigger.
You're saying Lamar is bigger?
Jay, he's taller. He's like 6 foot. So I don't know. I think Jarquez was 5'8", 5'9", something like that. Maybe I can't.
He was stocky for sure.
Yeah, but he was big. He was still big. This kid's
100%.
already there.
Yeah. So I guess the only thing it's okay to pull for Georgia on is their recruitment of Derrek Cooper. That is kind of my.
It's funny how these things go, because it's kind of similar to the Emmanuel Iheanacho. You think about the Emmanuel Iheanacho situation. Auburn really wants him. He's coming in on a visit. There was a big offensive tackle, Jackson Cantwell. He's the number one offensive tackle on some sites, and Oregon was kind of in the running there. And I think Miami pulled the upset and got him, which now puts a little bit more pressure on Oregon to go get another top tackle. And that's why you started seeing the focus shift to Emmanuel Iheanacho. So a lot of times you're having to root for some schools to get their guy, so it'll open up opportunities for you to get other targets. So it's fun to watch all these different storylines, but they all have some similarities.
Well, Auburn Undercover 247, they in their story that they wrote about Cooper's visit, the first quote they use is from Cooper talking about playing with Jae Lamar. And obviously that was from the perspective of Auburn. Y'all both at Auburn at the same time, but Cooper said it was great. He's real cool. He's from Georgia. I've been keeping an eye on a lot of backs. It was good to meet him and bond with him. And it'd just be I'd be a bummer if they both went to Georgia,
Well, Jay said we at one point in time. Like in one of his quotes, he used the term we when he was talking about Auburn. If I'm not mistaken, he said something about we're going to change this thing, or when we get here. Like he actually, now that's not uncommon to get, wrapped up in a visit and say stuff like that. But he did. I think when he was talking about Auburn, he used the term we, like he was already a part.
Now we're locked in, maybe.
Yeah, it was something he used the term we. So
yeah,
I'll have to find the exact quote, but no, I mean,
interesting.
You definitely knocked it out of the park with Jay. One of these two guys, if you get one of these two guys, you're ecstatic. I think Derrek Cooper's probably an extreme long shot. You got a good shot at Jay. You got to hang in there, and
you got to see what happens. You got to just hope, honestly, that Georgia doesn't put a full court press on Jay.
Sure, and that's Georgia kid. That's
I also love that Jay was like super honest. He said something about I needed to come down just to see what the financial situation is too with rev sharing. And I'm like, nobody ever says that. I'm so glad that he said that, because it's we all know that money comes up when we're doing this,
Yeah. Exactly. At least now we're actually putting it out there. I'm curious to know the rev share deal too. So we seem to be almost like we're still waiting on that official shoe to drop.
Here it is. He said official visit wise, just to see what they have to offer financially with the revenue sharing and stuff like that. I mean, hey, nobody ever wants to say that, but that's
part
true.
of it, man. It's part of it.
You gotta like him a little bit more. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Isn't that so wild?
Yeah. Oh, it's all wild, man. It's all wild.
It's insane that we're just. Yep. We always used to chastise other schools for paying, or we'd say, this or that about.
Yeah. Now, why can't we pay them more? Why can't we pay them more?
And now it's just, not only is it said, it's just a part of the. It's just a part of
it's part of it. It's part of it. What should we take away from this official visit weekend? Are we concerned that there were no commitments? That's next, right here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. FanDuel's America's #1 sportsbook. Did you see the line moves for Auburn and Baylor, Kyle?
I think Auburn jumped to a 2.5 point favorite.
I'm saying it's going to end at 3.5. That is my prediction. So if you want that extra point, head over to FanDuel right now, FanDuel.com. And if you're new to FanDuel, it's the perfect time to sign up. You can place your first $5 bet. You'll get $200 in bonus bets. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. With the NBA playoffs in full swing, Major League Baseball, and I think hockey's still going on. There's a lot of stuff happening, and you can get in on the action at FanDuel. Win that first $5 bet, you get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA and the Locked On Podcast Network. Thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Kyle, like any concern that there weren't any commitments this weekend? We're so early in the official visit process that a lot of these guys are going to be at different schools every weekend for the next, month and a half. What I mean, it was pretty quiet.
It was.
It's a bad thing.
It was quiet, and I think if they could have gotten some commitments, they would have obviously taken them. I don't know. I don't really know the situation with NIL right now. I feel like, honestly, it's not just Auburn. I feel like everybody's sort of,
it seems slowed down right now.
Super slow in waiting to see what happens.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think you really can give a full not a committable, but like a full, like solid hardcore offer if you're going to be transparent about things, which Auburn, their NIL to me sometimes is transparent almost to a fault, painfully transparent. Like sometimes just get the deal done. But yeah, I feel like, I mean, look at the SEC. LSU's the number one class in the SEC, and they only have 9 commits. Auburn has 7. Georgia just has 9. There's just not a lot of schools. Alabama only has 5 commits. So, like, there's just not a ton of schools that just are racking up big commits right now. And maybe it's the official visit. Season is going to be a lot more, let's go visit every single one because we got to go check all the best offer. Like, but, right. And maybe it's all of them are like, hey, we want to do this, but we need this ruling to go through 100%. So we know 100%. Maybe this is what we think we can do. But we're not going to be 100% sure until this rev share thing's voted on. And it's just making kids maybe be a little bit more patient. And I think Auburn, they're probably going to be patient on Auburn in general, just to see how the first couple of games go. But I think it probably has more to do with NIL, as what was Jae Lamar said just out loud.
Yeah, I do like the point that you just made about folks being maybe a little slow on Auburn anyway, because this is such a crucial year. I mean, if Auburn goes 8-4, 9-3, and the proof of concept is there, it's like, okay, we are truly trending in the right direction.
If that happens last year, they're the number one class. I truly believe that the pathway was there. They were just that's what basically, I don't want to say killed the class because there's still a top 10
you're right, though.
Class,
you can't say like, hey, come to Auburn and play for a championship and do stupid stuff at the end of games. Like you can't do that. That sales pitch goes away when that happens. So does that go away if Auburn wins 8 or 9 games? I think it does. And I think it puts you in a prime spot to potentially flip some kids in early December.
Yeah, I mean, in a vast majority of the commitments, even last year, were flips. It seems like this is what every kid does now. They commit and secure their spot.
Yeah,
and then they shop around.
Get your spot. And it's the way it is. Like,
it's the way to.
If I had a kid, I would tell them to do that.
Oh, that's 100% the way to do it.
I do have kids, but they are not college athletes. But I would tell them to do that in a heartbeat. So you can hate on the system or whatever, but like these kids got to play the game, and that's how it's played right now. So
100%. I'm there with you. What I would do as well.
I'm there with you. How can people check out everything you've got going on?
Subscribe to thebarnauburn.com. Jump in the message board. Jump in the conversation. All of our content goes down on the Barn Auburn YouTube page. Baseball, basketball, year round. It's good stuff. And then obviously my show every single day. So jump in, have some fun, jump in the conversation.
Yes, please like the video. Please subscribe. And we'll see you next time. This has been Locked On Auburn.